ありがとう船長さん。お体本当に大事になさってね。
わしの友人にな、肩こりによく効くっちゅうのを商ってるのがおるんや。次ん時試供品もらってくるで。
いえいえ、お気遣いをありがとうございます。
ほらガキども、いつまではしゃぎ回ってやがる。とっとと降りろい。
ほらマリア、ママと一緒にお船を降りましょうね。
Maria, who Rosa led by the hand, was still too young for kindergarten. Okay, so this is definitely several years ago. Several years ago. So is this the incident? Is this where we kind of like see like the incident, right? That depends. Is Battler here? Okay, Battler. Battler and George had the energy of middle school or nearly middle school kids. Okay, so I'm guessing this is Battler's last family conference before he came back in '86. Is what I'm guessing. Those two, along with Jessica, who had met them on Nijima, were clambering about on the boat.
アスム、大丈夫か？お前は本当に乗り物がダメだな。
Rudolph lent an arm to his wife, Asma.
ようこそ六軒島へ。長旅を大変お疲れ様でございました。
The whole family had gathered for the conference. At this point in time, Rudolph's wife was still Asma, and Angie hadn't been born. Goda and Kanon hadn't yet been employed by the Shiromiya family, and the witch's epitaph, which would toy with the family's fate, hadn't appeared yet. They probably couldn't even imagine the bizarre crime they would encounter several years later. Wait. Goda and Kanon hadn't yet been employed. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. That line almost slipped by me. Okay. So Shannon is employed. This is, by my assumption, the point in time where, Battler's sin is committed. Oh wait, no, I'm scrolling back. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Okay.
旦那様、奥様、親族の方々がご到着なさいました。
では、私は親父殿に声をかけてくるとしよう。
お願いします。私は皆様方をお迎えします。あ、シャノン、この窓枠を掃除したのは誰ですか？まだ埃があるではありませんか。大急ぎで拭きなさい。
かしこまりました、奥様。
Oh, come on. Nazi's making her work so hard again. Just what good does she find in such a limited, ulcer-inducing life? I wanted to know. Shannon, what is it that you found? And what did you mean when you said I already knew what I was missing? Shannon, is this something I must learn by learning about you?
親族会議の日の六軒島は普段と何が違うのだろ
う。それは絶対。これだけの子供が集まることはないものね。
大人たちにとっては緊張感を強いられる日だ。僕たち子供にとっては仲良しのいとこたちと一度に会える素敵な日だったね。
夏はいとこたちで海ではしゃいだし、冬は冬でいろいろゲームをして遊んだっけ。俺たちにとっては親族会議ってのは楽しいもんだったぜ。
それは私もだぜ。母さんなんかは粗相があってはダメとかうるさかったけど、私にとってもいとこみんなで遊べる楽しい日だった。何しろ普段の六軒島には何もねえんだから。
すげえお屋敷に住んでたり、ガキの頃は羨ましいと思ってたけど、ジェシカの身になって考えるとさぞや窮屈だったと思うぜ。
だろうね。六軒島には本当に何もない。友達の家もお隣もご近所もない。ジェシカちゃんの気持ちを考えると少し気の毒に思うよ。
だから私にとっては親族会議の日は本当に特別な日。はしゃいでふざけて、まるでお祭りの日みたいな気持ちだ。徹底的に悪ふざけの限りを尽くしたぜ。
大人たちは小難しい話ばかりで、あっちで遊んで。
年の近いいとこたちが3人はしゃぎ回らないわけがない。
いいや、3人じゃ4人だったよ。
エンジェは生まれてないし、マリアはまだ一緒に遊べるような。
違うよフルフル。年が近いのはいとこだけじゃないよ。
Yeah, yeah, who else was there, huh?
シャノンちゃんだよ。彼女も俺らと同じくらいの年だったからな。
Oh, that's crazy. She was about the same age? It's crazy how they told us she was 16. Yeah, oh, but she's apparently about the same age as, like, you know, the modern day battler being around 18, George being, what was he, 20? 21, somewhere around there. I think Jessica's 18. I mean, 16 isn't far off. I mean, 19 is a lot closer to everyone else's age, just saying.
母さんが使用人のことは話すなとうるさかったけれど、私とシャノンは少しずつ交流を深めていったよ。六軒島で最も年が近い唯一の女の子だったんだから。
僕たちとシャノンの4人は親族会議の時はいつも楽しく遊んでいたよね、シャノン。
はい、奥様に知られればお叱りを受けることと分かってはおりましたが。
叱らせなんかしねえぜ。シャノンはずっと私の気持ちを唯一理解してくれる親友だったぜ。
ありがとうございます、お嬢様。
I simply cannot hide my shock. How had she formed a relationship with the children of the family despite being only a servant? Nazi had probably been very careful to prevent such a relationship. However, it's no surprise that Jessica, all alone on this island, would want to be friends with a kid her age. And Shannon was also alone on this island, without any friends her age. Though they both understood their relationship as master and servant, they somehow managed to strike up a friendship. Then, at the family conference, Jessica had introduced Shannon to George and Battler. All the adults had their hands full with the complicated discussion in the mansion. During that time, Shannon was able to set aside her role as a servant for a little bit, acting her age with Jessica, George, and Battler. I didn't even know that Shannon had constructed this new world so quickly. As a butterfly hiding in the shadows, I observed this new world of Shannon's.
あの日も僕らはバラ庭園を、そして浜辺。
ただ駆け回ってふざけ合うだけが最高に楽しかったな。
だな、この時ばかりはシャノンちゃんも年相応の笑顔を見せてくれたぜ。
ちょっとはしゃぎすぎてたかもです。お恥ずかしい。
今でこそバトラも立派な身長だけど、当時は私やシャノンの方が背が高いし力も強かったっけ。
当時の俺は
成長が遅い方の方が背は伸びると聞いたことがあります。
Man, I wish that were true. Anyway.
そうだろうな。シャノンちゃんの胸もあの頃は全然こんなじゃなかったもんな。
そんなことはないよ。シャノンだってあの頃からもう女性の魅力を持ち始めて。
Nah, George, look at your man there. He wasn't talking about no womanly charm.
どうでしょう。
女性の魅力ってなんだよ。やらし
いやー、あの頃はまだ俺も可愛かったな。夏服の肩からちらりと見える紐に青い春の稲妻を感じたもんだぜ。ジョージの兄貴と一緒にシャノンちゃんの胸はいくつくらいか夜にこそこそと話し合ったのが懐かしいぜ。
そうなんですか、ジョージ様。
Listen, man likes big tits and he cannot lie. Don't shame the man for that. Especially when he's like in middle school. Yeah. All they're gonna talk about is titties, alright? They're not even evolved enough to appreciate an ass, alright? They're just gonna talk about titties. That's all that's on a middle school boy's brain. It's just titties. Titties. And then more titties.
おそらくは大いに誤解のある話だと思うよ。僕は男女の成長の違いについて人生の先輩として講義をした記憶はあっても
Yeah, boys grow when they see how much girls have grown anyway.
いとこ同士での夜のワイダンはむしろ健全な発育の証であってその
Oh yeah, George and Badler were both talking about how they were experiencing some healthy growth after looking at
い
Shannon.
やー、みんなでいとこ部屋で深夜になるまでそういう話をしてたっけな。隣のクラスの誰々がキスをしたらしいとか、
No.
サマーキャンプで素敵だなと思ってたこと手をつなげちゃったとか、誰々は自分に気がありそうでとかなんとか。いやー、なんか恥ずかしくて全身が痒くなってきたぜ。
いいじゃないか。それもまた青春の甘酸っぱい1ページ。
男女を意識し合うところから一番最初のピュアな恋が生まれるの。
ただ男女で一緒にいたいだけという、それでいて高潔な最初の。
素敵だわ。年頃の少年少女たちが愛の世界を思い浮かべながら語り合う。そんなこともありましたでしょうか。
何をとぼけてるんだか。耳まで真っ赤になりながらもシャノンちゃんが一番興味津々って感じだったじゃねえかよ。
興味津々なんてことはありませんでした。私はその皆さんよくいろいろなことをご存知だなと。その
シャノンが一番かまととぶってて、そのくせ興味津々だった。
Even Jessica thrown her under the bus.
むっつりスケベだった。
そんなことありません。そんなことありません。お嬢様嫌いです。
そういつもこんな感じ。昼は子供らしくはしゃぎ合い、夜は枕を寄せて秘密の話に花を咲かせた。それら全部をひっくるめてどれも懐かしいね。
エッチな話をひそひそして親の足音が近づいてきたらガバッと布団に潜って寝たふりしたりとかあったな。
あったあった、修学旅行かっつーの。
全員同時にガバッと隠れる感じ、暗黙のルールみたいな感じというか、あの感じがすごい好きでした。
ま、とにかくそういう話だけじゃなかったよ。他にもいろいろあった。僕たちはまさに青春を謳歌し合っていたよ。
これは何だというのか。
Shannon, is this that fun thing of the human world? Is this incomprehensible messing around that thing that you found?
子供同士が群れてバカバカしい遊びにね。これがそなたの見つけた魔女の閲楽にも勝る人間の閲楽だというのか。
はい、あなたにはこれが楽しくは見えませんか。
退屈とは言わぬ。だがこの低俗なはしゃぎ合いが全ての望みを叶えられるわらわの理想郷よりも勝る気せぬ。
人と触れ合うことはもちろんあなたの世界も楽しいものだと思います。それでも私はこちらを選びます。
わからぬ、わからぬ。
Beatrice held her head as though she was having a headache. But no matter how much she grimaced, she couldn't think of an answer.
教えよ、そなたはこのような低俗なはしゃぎ合いの中に何を見つけたというの。
It's love, bitch.
知りたいですか。
知りたい。
恋です。
Yep. I mean, like, that answer was blatantly obvious, but yep.
これ
Uh-huh.
前に約束し
Kinda
た
figured.
推理小説。
I kinda suspected as much, that she had fucking fall in love with Badler, but then he stopped showing up. That does, and I'm guessing there was something in the way he left before never coming back for 6 years, or maybe it's just the fact that he did never come back for 6 years and that messed with her in some way, shape, or form.
ありがとうございます。お借りしますね。
And of course she ignored George because George was on his incel shit at the time. But of course George sees how fucking hot she has for Badler, so he's like, I gotta be more like Badler, and that's how he starts to pull her attention.
いいよ、シャノンちゃんにやるよ。俺はもう読み終わっちまったし。
そんなもらってしまっては悪い。高いものでしょうし。
バザーでほんの何百円かでまとめ買いしたやつだから気にするなって。それより早く全部読んで、またいろいろシャノンちゃんといろいろ議論するのは楽しいからさ。
はい、私も楽しいです。ミステリーは一人で読むよりも二人で読む方が楽しいですよね。
Yeah, and of course Yasuda, the kid, was really addicted to mystery novels. Makes sense that, Shannon as well is addicted to mystery novels. And of course Badler had mentioned at some point, I think in episode 5 or 6, about how he was into mystery novels. He'd read quite a few himself. Something along those lines.
妄想したりするのが楽しいよな。ミステリーは読んで半分を楽しみ、読んだ人間同士で語り合って初めて全てを楽しめるってのが俺の持論だぜ。
Our relationship began when we realized that we both read mystery novels. We were both surprised and very interested to find that the other not only read tons of mystery novels, but read them very thoroughly. Ever since then, it's been like this. Separate from the games we played with all the cousins, the two of us met together for some time alone. Oh! They were having alone time. I ain't realized that. Okay. There was genuinely something there. I gotcha. At first, it was like a sort of contest to see who knew more than the other. However, eventually this turned to respect for how much the other had read and how deeply they were able to think about it. Respect. Trust. Those emotions made our friendship even stronger. Of course, all that had still fallen within the category of friendship. But we were still slightly aware of the fact that the other was of the opposite sex, making for a relationship that was charming or youthful, or maybe you could call it exciting. However, we were still at the age where calling us young men and women would probably be a bit too gracious. Of course, we didn't know a thing about love, so we couldn't understand that exciting feeling in our chests, both bitter and sweet, that we only felt when we were alone together. However, we realized that there was some unknown emotion hidden behind that feeling, and as our hearts raced, we had our hands upon the door. That was the exciting age we were at. So, at some point our discussions about mystery novels became just an excuse for us meeting alone. Oh.
ホワイトニットを大切にした推理小説ってあまりねえんだよな。
Yeah, you can't ignore the heart.
ホワイトニット？犯人の動機？
ああ、推理小説で探るべき3つの論点はフーダニット、ハウダニット。この前者2つを扱う小説は結構多いと思うが、
犯人特定後に動機を自白する作品は
それを犯人が自白する前に推理できるようになってなければダメなんだ。
But it has to be something you can reason out before the culprit confesses or it doesn't count.
動機がないと思われていた人物が推理不能な動機により事件に及ぶってのは俺は個人的にはアンフェアだと思ってる。
Who done it? Who's the culprit? How done it? How did he commit the crime? Why done it? Why did he commit the crime?
誰が犯人かとかそれを問う作品はいやほとんどだろうな。しかし動機を推理する作品ってのは決して多くないと思う。
そうですね。Who, How, Why の3つの中で
ホワイトニットを大切にしない推理小説ってのはなんだか一味足りないように思う。いやつまらないって言ってんじゃない。なんていうのか一番大切なものが心だよ。心が
The heart. Can't ignore the heart.
心。
人の心ってのはすごく重要だと思うんだ。人間が殺人を決意し 計画し準備し、ものすごい大きな心の力が必要な
Oh,
は
you
ずなん
don't
だ。
say.
人は心で動いてるんだぜ。
In other words, only the heart can kill a person. When an emotional upheaval grows strong enough to make a person want to kill, the result is the tragedy called murder. If we turn it around, does that mean that the true way to close in on the crime is by searching for the heart that brings about the tragedy of murder? Only the heart can kill a person. So if a person has been killed, you must search for that heart. That's what he's saying.
だからさ、犯人がただの殺人なんだか少し好きになれない。
Nah, I can. I mean, maybe not in like a mystery story. But like, I definitely... There's some antagonists in various stories that they're just absolutely fucking brutal homicidal maniacs. And I'm like, you know what? I fucks with it. Those are far from my favorite antagonists. He's definitely got a point here, but they can still be good ones.
殺すに値する十分な心の動きを描いた作品がお好きだ。
そうさ。そしてそれを推理させてくれる作品が俺は本当は一番好きなんだ。
As he spoke, he looked back at me and smiled. Before today, I used to like novels that focused on exposing tricks. However, I decided to look for novels like the ones he recommended in the future.
心ってやつを人は心で動いてるんだからな。
そうですね。おっしゃる通りだと思います。
This isn't limited to the mystery genre. All humans are moved by their hearts all the time. Being able to notice the heart is what allows for interactions between people. No, interactions between hearts. None of us humans can live on our own, and yet we have no way of peeking into the hearts of others. That's why every meeting between people is a mystery of the heart. Finding those, reasoning about them, and understanding each other is the key to interactions between people and hearts. The two of us are here, all alone, talking together about mysteries. And through that, we are searching out each other's hearts. Speaking of the heart's mysteries, I want you to feel about me the way I feel about you. We're both searching, trying to figure out the depths of the other's heart in this mystery of love.
Oh. もうこんな時間、兄貴たちを待たせちゃってるかな。
そろそろ戻った方がいい時間。
シャノンちゃんと話してるとあっという間に時間が過
Oh,
ぎ
you
ちまう
don't say.
な。
You seem to be speaking the words of my heart. We were thinking the same thing, so the same words came out.
いつまでも二人きりでお話を。時計の針が恨めしいです。
俺もだぜ。六軒島で一番楽しいのはこうしてシャノンちゃんと話すことだからな。
When I saw that his smiling eyes were looking right at me, I turned away. Couldn't let him see my suddenly red face.
私ももっともっとたくさんの本を読めるのに。
The bookshop on Nijima that I go to and the bookshop he goes to in the city are on completely different scales. The book exchange between the two of us had become completely one-sided, with him giving me all the books.
シャノンちゃんはいつまで使用人を続ける気？
わかりません。
もしいつか辞める時が来たら
来たら
俺のところへ来いよ。
Oh! Oh, ho, ho, ho! Big man making moves! He said it almost carelessly. Maybe he was a bit embarrassed since he laughed weakly and blushed a little.
そしたら今度はもう時間も何も気にせずに済むもんな。
God damn, middle school battlers smooth as hell.
ずっと一緒にいられますね。
Like you see modern day battlers, he's like, yeah, no, I love talking about titties. It's the best. He's over. And no, when he's actually getting alone time, he's dropping these smooth lines, being all fucking, being suave as a motherfucker. Like, god damn, okay, I see you, boy. Little secret dates on this island only happened a few times a year. Even when they did happen, it was only for a short, uncertain period of time. It wouldn't work over the phone or with letters. We can only talk about our mystery when we're staying together like this.
必ずその日は来るさ。
来るでしょうか。
ああ、絶対にな。
Certain? Why is he certain?
その日が来たら俺が白馬にまたがって 迎えに来てやるぜ。
After saying this, he turned away. He's probably too proud to show me his blushing cheeks. But even without seeing, I knew what his face looked like. To come riding on a white horse. Isn't that... isn't that like a prince riding a white horse? So what exactly does that mean? Does it mean you're going to be my prince? Oh. My mind was going blank, so I just couldn't reason out his mystery of love, even though it was all plain and simple.
その日はいつ来るんでしょう。
Ooh, anytime you're ready. Oh, Badler, you smooth son of a bitch. My heart skipped a beat. It was so sweet, yet it hurt.
俺はいつだっていいんだぜ。シャノンちゃんの人生さ。よく考えてから決心するといい。俺はその決心がいつであってもそれを尊重するぜ。
はい。
その日までずっと待ってるぜ。
If only I had been a bit more foolish and courageous. I could have said then and there that I was already prepared and asked him to take me away from this island right away. But I couldn't say it. I had to think carefully about my future for both our sakes. My head was filled with pointless, senseless thoughts.
嬉しいです。ありがとう。
With his back still to me, he scratched his head and laughed. I knew he was doing this out of embarrassment, so I could clearly tell what his expression must have been. In the same way, he must have realized what my face looked like. We're both puzzle solvers of love. We theorize about each other's love, solving each other's mysteries. Yeah.
時間をくれて。
時間は無限にあるぜ。
いいえ、それでは申し訳待ちくたびれちゃったら。だから、決心今すぐ使用人を辞めるというそう。1年。
Ooh. 1 year, but then next year he doesn't show up, does he? That was... yeah.
1年後に。
If a year after now, you still feel like coming for me on a white horse, and me too, I still like you a year from now. I'd like to dedicate the rest of my life to you.
1年後に決心しようと思います。
1年か。いい時間だな。春夏。それだけの時間を過ごして。自分の心と。
ですから、来年きっと迎えに来てくださいね。
おう。
He responded to my cowardly determination with a quick, strong answer.
その日が来るのを待っているぜ。
はい。
The day never came.
絶対。
あ
あ。
絶対ですよ、来年。
ああ、絶対来るぜ。
Oh.
ここで会おうな。
Okay. That's for certain. Yeah. Mm-hmm.